I'm just like admiring and my little flippers, and I'm just in my own space. And then all of a sudden, the sand starts to look like it's just getting further and further down. And then all of a sudden, that shit goes pitch black, and I panic. I look up slightly, and it is just all dark. And
Welcome to Paddle Forward, the podcast where we navigate the currents of life, embracing motherhood, mindfulness, and the pursuit of our dreams. I'm your host, Anna Connie Walters, and I'm thrilled to embark on this journey with you. In each episode, I'll dive into insightful conversations, share inspiring stories, and explore practical strategies to help you unleash your creativity, find happiness within yourself, and navigate the beautiful but sometimes challenging waters of life. So grab your metaphorical paddle, grab your favorite oil, inhale the peace, exhale the chaos, and let's dive into today's episode.
hey, welcome to today's episode in Paddle Forward podcast, navigating life's currents. And today is a special episode that I want to talk about how to embrace waves to conquer your fears, diving into specifically paddle boarding. And in this episode, I really just want to dive into the topic of how to overcome your fears, specifically the fear of water, and how basically paddleboarding can be transformative as an experience, and really sharing my personal journey, giving you some practical tips on how to really conquer your fears, how to change your mindset, and how this can be applied to both on and off the water. So starting with, my personal story. If you don't know who I am, my name is Anna Connie, and I was extremely aquaphobic for pretty much most of my life. I was completely terrified with water, and the thought of being surrounded by it was really just enough to really, make me have an anxiety attack and like just stop. Um, and it wasn't all water, it was essentially just water where I couldn't see through. So, like, pool water was okay, but not pool water at night. And so it really left me with, like, at the beginning of my, earlier, like, teens and stuff, I didn't really think too much of it. I mean, I was a lifeguard, so a lot of people were surprised about that. But again, it wasn't so much the fear of water, it was just the fear of, like, water that I couldn't see in. And then, you'd have like my imagination of all the stuff that could be there to like hurt me. And it really was more when I started to get into my late 20s, and this feeling of like I am missing out on something magical. And I really wanted to figure out how to get past this debilitating fear. And so I really tried to like kind of take this desire of wanting to be in ocean water and feel comfortable and confident, and or even lake water or river water, and what did I need to do essentially to like get to be on this point and essentially see what was out there, see what was like everybody's hype up, with snorkeling and scuba diving and things like that. So, and that's where we're going to start. So for my 30th birthday, I decided that as my gift to myself, I was going to learn how to snorkel. And so I went with like three of my best friends who actually also happened to be like people I worked with. And we went to the Bahamas. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but I had heard rumors that somebody said that in the Bahamas there are no sharks. I know it's not true, but in my mind I was like, perfect. So we go, and it was awful. Like the first time I went, and they were showing me how to like put the mask on, and like I was trying to like learn how to not breathe through my nose, only through my mouth. Now, keep in mind, I actually was a pretty good swimmer, but I had the most difficult time figuring out literally how to like make this little ecosystem work. I kept snorting up salt water, and if that's ever happened to you, you know it sucks. My goggles would fill up with water, the salt water would get in my eyes, and it was like, like after, I don't know, I would say like maybe 10 or 12 times, I was like, yeah, I'm done. And one of my friends, Jock, was like, just try it one more time. and really like went over like everything, like this is what you need to do. And of course, it's always that one more time right before you're ready to give up that it ends up working. Isn't that funny? If you can just get yourself to try that one more time. And to be honest, I don't know how many people don't actually try it and be like, no, F this, I'm out. I'm going to be out to the beach at the tiki hut having a drink. But I did. I was like, okay, fine. And I did it. And of course, it all clicked. I did it. And I was like, oh, did you see that? Like, I was like excited, like more excited than, I don't know, seeing Santa for the first time or whatever. I was super excited. And so then it just kind of sparked this like, okay, I could do it once, I could do it again. And I just kept trying. I didn't care how many times the other stuff was happening because I knew it was possible that I could do it. And so I kept trying. For 3 days, I was out there and just snorkeling, looking at all the fish. It was glorious. I was like, oh my God, it's like a whole nother universe down here. And my friends were like, dude, we're going to go lay on the beach. We want to read a book. We want to be in the shade. We're like snorkeled out. You go. And so for the first time on the third day, I went by myself. And I'm just like admiring and my little flippers and I'm just in my own space. And then all of a sudden, the sand starts to look like it's just getting further and further down. And then all of a sudden, that shit goes pitch black. And I panic. I look up slightly and it is just all dark. And I am like, oh shit. So I come out of the water, look behind me and see how far off the shore. Like I am I don't even know. I would say I felt like miles off the shore. I could barely see. And that's how zoned out I was looking at all these beautiful like coral and fish and whatever. And I was like starting to panic. I was starting to feel the hyperventilation. I was like, no, 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 no. Okay, Anagani, like, let's just like put your mask back on and let's just start snorkeling back. And slowly the water started to like get more brighter and I could start to see like really small like glimpses that there was sand. And then all of a sudden, like, okay, we're back to where we were. Like, let's just kind of keep enjoying it. And then all of a sudden, you guys, I feel this cold, round thing hook me in my back, and I am starting to get pushed into the water. And I panic. I go limp. That's it. Like, a shark's got me, and I am done. Like, literally, my worst nightmare has happened. Tomorrow's my 30th birthday. I'm not even going to make it to my 30th birthday. I'm going to be basically devoured by some massive shark and it's pushing me and I can't see nothing. I have no idea what's happening. I know that this big cold thing has got me on the back of my mid back and it's just like it's pushing me through the water and all I see is like the white like flurry that's happening on the sides. I don't see it. I'm going pretty fast. And in my mind, I'm like, it's either a shark or a whale, and they're taking me to their BFFs, and they're about to have like a smorgasbord with me. They're like, dude, look what I found. And they're gonna like, they're teasing me, they're playing with me. He's probably tasting me to see how delicious I am. Like, I'm awfully like convinced this is it. This is the end game. I was like, this is what you get for trying something new. Long story short, I remember because I was actually a river raft guide in high school in California. And I was like, okay, let's like think about this, like survival mode in Akani. How do we get out of this? And I'm like, what do we know about sharks? We know that to punch them in the nose or put our hands in their gills or in their eyes to like quickly get away. Let's just face the fact that we're probably going to get, you know, bit and let's just hope it's on the lower extremity and all we got to do is try to like disable it and just swim as fast as we can, hopefully before anything else gets us. Like, you can do this. We are not giving up. This is not how I'm going to end. Jesus, I'm not meeting you today. And so I was like, okay, my original like river rafting training was like when you get, because it's something that can happen, you get sucked up underneath the rafts and it kind of creates like this suction effect. So that's why they tell you never like, always put your feet first and all these things. So I was like, okay, if that ever happens, what did they tell you to do? They tell you to like because you're not gonna be able to see anything usually, feel for an edge and try to pull yourself out. So that's what I was like, I'm gonna turn and let's just hope that like I miss his mouth and I just kind of like roll and swim as fast as we can. And so I was like, okay. So I turn, I feel myself kind of going like this, and there's like this massive body coming on top of me, and I'm like, okay, like just feel for an edge. I feel like some like little things, and I pull myself out. Y'all, I was getting pushed by a small cruise ship. It was no shark, it was no whale, it was a fucking ship. Like a small like charter boat like that was touristing people, and you see these assholes on the top taking pictures of me, and I'm in the water. Like, you couldn't tell the fucking captain that he ran over a little Mexican girl? Like, what is wrong with you guys? And in my mind, I didn't think about like how dangerous this really could have been, because I literally could have kept going through and got stuck through like the propellers and really been like effed up. So um, that was my story. But why did I tell you this? Like, Anakani, like, that is not encouraging to go out in the fucking water. I know. I'm not telling you that to freak you out. I'm telling you that because I was like, it was my aha moment that, like, literally my worst nightmare kind of happened. And it did really happen. Like, it was all in my mind. Like, I thought about, like, the worst case scenario. Luckily, that story had a happy ending, and like I ended up swimming to shore. I was pretty far from where my friends were. I walked the entire way there, and I didn't snorkel for like a few days, but did go back in the water because I was like, well, that's it. I survived like my worst nightmare. So like that's it. Like, I felt invincible for some crazy odd reason, and I was like, I had already got a taste of how beautiful the ocean was, and I was not willing to give it up. And in my mind, I just started to have like these reflective moments of like my life, and if it really would have been a shark and I really would have been eaten, would have I been happy with my life? Have I lived my life to its fullest? And I meet all these people who are beautiful humans who get the worst, suckiest cancer diagnosis. And, seeing how they take something like that and seeing the ones that survive and seeing the ones that don't survive, and how a lot of it ended up being more mental than physical. And the people that had the best like outcomes were the ones with the best mindset about it. And the people that like had not bad diagnosis ended up dying from the cancer because they had the worst mentality about what was being done to them. And so I started to take all this stuff into account, and really propelled me to like think about this and transcend it. Like, how can I translate this into my fears and getting over this? And that's really what it was. It was just like, you could die any day. You could die, get walking down the street. You can get hit by a car. You could like literally like just have a stroke or a massive heart attack. I had two heart conditions at this point. I was on like massive medications, and I was like, all these things are all risk factors. Like that could end for a numerous amount of reasons. And do you want to really like be up in heaven thinking, damn, I wish I really would have tried that because it does look actually pretty cool from up here. Like, no, like I want to say that I did it all. And I'm ready for like retirement vacation. You get to that point where like clubbing and all that, like it's just not that fun. I did that in my 20s, or I did that. Like, it's like, kudos to you. Have fun. It's epic. But like, I've already done that stuff. Like, it doesn't appeal to me anymore. It's just not that much fun. And so it's like that transition, and it really, really helped me, just have a shift of mindset in how I approach things that I was afraid of. And so, really, after that experience, it kind of was this catalyst for change. And I started to then slowly introduce myself into water activities, and eventually discovering the beauty of paddleboarding. And this was not just a sport that not only really helped me conquer my fears, but it also brought me like immense joy and peace into my life, which was really like the best thing ever. And so, you know, overcoming your fears, because this is about paddleboarding. You need to start small with your confidence. You need to begin with like manageable activities. Like if you're really afraid of water, like a pool, a calm lake, you're just trying to get comfortable. And then maybe consider taking some swim lessons if you don't know how to swim. Again, building up that confidence and then starting to educate yourself, because knowledge is really power. And I truly believe that. So learning about water safety, learning about currents, learning about emergency procedures that you can encounter so that you're prepared for anything. And again, I can't like stress this enough. Get a SUP 101 lesson. We help you. Like for me, it's about visualization and really boosting your confidence on land before we even ever get on the water. And then, doing it with friends, because sometimes you just need that extra buddy to really kind of help propel you into, having the courage, because they are there to support you. They're non-judgment. They're your friends. Like they know you. And so, continuing and taking those small steps, celebrating every step that you take, maybe journaling about your progress so that you can go back and read about it, and really taking all these lessons from the water and trying to help it as you embrace other challenges, and using that to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, not just on the water, but also in your life. So focusing on the present moment, that helps reduce anxiety and really help to improve your performance instead of having your mind wondering about all these what ifs. Start to begin your days with good intentions, positive visualizations of really how you want the day to go, how you want your practice to go, how you want your lesson to go, and start to shift your gratitude from shifting that mindset from fear to positive. Start encouraging others. Be active in your community, because it really can translate into a more meaningful and vital life, to really take a lot of this stuff that it takes to just get you on a water for a simple 101 lesson, which is literally all I do. And then you become so confident, and then you can literally take those same things that I teach you as a SUP 101 lesson and then take them outside of your life, into your daily life, into things that scare you. Maybe you want to start your own business and you're super scared about like the what ifs. What if it doesn't work out? What if people don't want to buy anything that I sell? What if people don't want to hear what I have to say? What if I'm not a good at what I want to do? Like you say all these things to yourself, and it's like, so what? You can always learn. You can always practice to get better. Who cares what other people think? As long like you have to really go back to like your why. Why do you want to do this? Why is it so important for you to try? Because that will be your kind of like anchor in whatever you're trying to do. For me, it was really about learning how to be confident in myself, and like struggling through self-esteem issues and low self-confidence and body image issues, suffering from depression, suffering from prenatal anxiety, suffering from postpartum anxiety, like going through all these things, suffering from adrenal fatigue, being a workaholic, like all these things, thinking that I'm a good stress manager, and I really wasn't. I don't want people to have to suffer as long as I did to actually get their aha moment, like, or to find the resources or the tools that actually work. That's what my why was. I wanted to take people and try to get them and catch them before they ended up at the bottom of the net, where they had literally no other options but to be on medication, or have some massive medical intervention or procedure. Like I was like, so many people could be saved from getting to that point by catching them when they're starting to like show signs that certain things are starting to affect them. And being supportive and creating a community where you really do have that support, where we trust you, trust us, we trust you, we're there for you, we're there cheering you on regardless what journey you're part of. And so when I get into these bouts of like, no one's buying, no one's liking my stuff, I don't even know why I'm recording this, kind of like mental space, I'm like, no. And what if there is somebody, but they just didn't have the time, or they didn't know to like my video, but it affected them so much that they're out there living their best life, or they're out there trying new things because now they're brave enough to do it. Now they have the self-confidence. Now they have the tools, and I gave that to them. That gives me joy in my heart.
And so really, why do you want to do some of the things that you want to do? And so there's so many things that we can tell ourselves as excuses because we're allowing fear to essentially make our decisions for us and live our lives for us. I'm tired of living with fear as my front driver. I ask fear to take a back seat, and I'm the one steering my own journey. I'm the one with the paddle. I'm the one in the front. I'm the one calling the shots. And so if I really want to do it, I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to focus on all the things that could possibly go wrong and instead focus on all the amazing, themes or experiences or tastes or whatever. Because, I mean, you can take it down as basic as food. Like trying escargot for the first time or trying something that you're like, I don't know about that. Like, that's like sounds really out there, but I really, really want, like, I'm so curious. It's like, just do it and stop torturing yourself with like, man, I wonder what it tastes like. I wonder, like, and then you're asking people. No, start living your life for yourself and stop living it through others, or stop letting other people experience the life that you actually want to be having for yourself. And it starts with something as simple as stand-up paddleboarding. A lot of people just have so much. I'm keeping time because I got to go to class. Sorry. Like hesitation. Take a SUP 101 lesson if it's really that bad, because I guarantee you it will give you so much less anxiety. Now, no one teaches SUP like me. I can tell you that just out of like, I know nobody takes the effort to do SUP exactly like me. And I know that I can't be there. That's why I created my SUP confidence booster guide to kind of give you a small piece of me and all the things that I would actually coach you on before we even get on the water as my small gift to you, so that I can make sure that I'm setting you up for success, that you know what to expect, that you know how to select a good instructor to like still be able to be successful even if you don't have a good instructor. I know plenty of people who basically are like, here's how to front stroke, here's how to backstroke, like go and do your thing and I'll just kind of like be over here watching you, and if you need help I'll come. Like, that's not how to teach stuff, not in my opinion anyways. And so what I teach is so much more beyond just getting people to come and take a SUP lesson. That's not what Fat Mermaids is for. That's not why I became a stand-up paddleboard instructor. And that's definitely not why I invested in becoming a master SUP instructor. Like, I wanted to basically use SUP as my kind of like building block to really instill some life-changing mindset and confidence within people's self. Like, people get super nervous when I tell them I'm going to be doing GoPro videos and pictures of you during the lesson. Like, oh my God. I was like, and I'm going to be posting them online. And they're like, oh my God. Like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. All because they're like, now there's going to be proof that I'm doing this. And I was like, first of all, I would never put something out there that would make you look bad. I always make sure that my fat mermaids look good on camera. I said, second of all, when they see it, it's like this whole transformation of identity. And I remind them, I didn't do any kind of editing. There's no photoshopping. This is literally what you look like in real life. And you need to embrace that. You need to step into that person and you need to own her or own him. You are a badass. And I want you to start living life like that. So thank you for, joining me on this epic podcast episode of Overcoming Fear. I hope you found some inspiration and some encouragement, even if it's not stand up paddleboard. If there's something that you really just wanted to try, start small. And again, take these simple mindset shifts and little like things. I'm going to be doing a blog about it if you want to read about it more in detail. And then, reach out to me if there was something in there that like really touched you, but you kind of was like, it was just not enough. Can you expand on it a little bit? Or this is what I like, tell me what you wanted, what you're scared of trying, and then let's work through it together.
I invite you to join up for my newsletter. The link will be down in the show notes or the description. And join my private space. I have a private member area that's off social media, and I'm going to be spending so much more time in there and really supporting the community that comes into my space, because I feel like those are really the people, those are my people that I want to nurture and love on. And if you want to be one of those people, it's free. All you got to do is sign up for the newsletter. You automatically get access into the private member area. There's forums for SUP. If you're a new mama, there's a forum for that. If you're postpartum and want some parenting support, there's a forum for that. If you're a crafter, there's a forum for that. Like all of my little, you know, spaces in the world are in one thing so that we can be one family supporting each other in whatever journey we have. So, as always, thank you for staying with me till the end. If you know anybody who might benefit from this episode or this message, please feel free to share it with someone you love or know. And again, I appreciate your support. If it really, really touched you, I would appreciate it if you left me a positive review. And if not, you don't got to do nothing. Keep staying beautiful, though. Keep staying fabulous. And I will hopefully catch you in my next episode. What's my end thing? Oh yeah, keep paddling.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Paddle Forward. I hope you found inspiration, guidance, and practical tools to navigate your journey with more mindfulness and purpose. Remember, no matter where you are in life, you have the power to steer your own course. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to Paddle Forward on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like to support the show, I'd truly appreciate it if you could leave a positive review and share it with your friends and loved ones. I'd love to hear from you too. Connect with me on social media at Anna Connie Walters or at Fat Mermaids and share your thoughts, questions, and suggestions for future episodes. Remember, every paddle stroke brings you closer to your dreams, so keep paddling forward, embrace the challenges, and embrace the beauty of the journey. Until next time, stay inspired, stay beautiful, and keep paddling forward.